Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is a complex mental health condition that impacts relationships, families, and individuals. It is characterized by a persistent pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. This disorder affects how individuals perceive themselves and interact with others. Imagine a person who seems supremely confident, yet crumbles at the slightest criticism. This is often the duality of someone with NPD. They crave attention and validation, yet they are unable to truly connect with others on an emotional level. This disconnect creates a ripple effect, impacting families, romantic relationships, and even professional settings. Narcissism exists on a spectrum. Not everyone who displays narcissistic traits has NPD. However, understanding the core characteristics of this disorder is crucial. It helps us recognize its presence in our lives and navigate its impact effectively. Understanding NPD empowers us. We can then set healthy boundaries, protect our well-being, and build more fulfilling relationships. This journey begins by unmasking the different faces of narcissism and understanding its profound influence on our lives. Recognizing narcissistic traits is the first step to navigating their impact. These traits often manifest in subtle or overt behaviors. A grandiose sense of self-importance is a telling sign. They often exaggerate achievements and expect recognition. Narcissists need constant admiration and validation. A lack of empathy is a core characteristic. This makes building healthy relationships challenging. Recognizing these traits empowers us with knowledge. It helps us make informed decisions about our relationships. Empaths, with their heightened sense of empathy and compassion, are often drawn to individuals with NPD. It's a complex dynamic that often stems from the empath's innate desire to heal and nurture. They see the pain and vulnerability beneath the narcissist's grandiose facade. They are drawn to help and fix it. This dynamic can lead to a toxic dance. The empath gives endlessly, while the narcissist takes without reciprocation. The empath's empathy becomes a source of fuel for the narcissist's ego. This leaves the empath feeling drained, depleted, and emotionally exhausted. Empaths often possess a deep capacity for love and understanding. They may make excuses for the narcissist's behavior. They may blame themselves for the relationship's challenges. This self-blame can trap empaths in a cycle of emotional abuse. They sacrifice their own needs to please the narcissist. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for empaths to break free from these toxic relationships. Learning to set boundaries, prioritize self-care, and understand that they are not responsible for fixing the narcissist is paramount. Empaths must understand that they deserve reciprocal love and respect. Narcissism doesn't exist in a vacuum. It thrives in the dynamics of families and close relationships. Understanding how NPD affects family systems is essential for navigating its complexities and fostering healthier connections. In families, individuals with NPD often create a web of manipulation, control, and emotional abuse. They may pit family members against each other. They may use guilt trips and emotional blackmail to get their needs met. This creates an environment of fear, resentment, and dysfunction. Children growing up in narcissistic families often develop coping mechanisms to survive. Some become people pleasers, seeking validation from the narcissistic parent. Others become overly independent, distancing themselves emotionally to protect themselves. These patterns can have long-lasting impacts on their adult relationships and sense of self. Navigating family relationships affected by NPD requires compassion, understanding, and firm boundaries. It's essential to remember that you cannot change the narcissist. You can only control your own responses and interactions. Setting limits on contact, seeking support from therapists, and prioritizing your own well-being are crucial steps in healing and building healthier family dynamics. Narcissism often has roots in unhealed trauma passed down through generations. Children develop narcissistic traits as a defense mechanism. This generational trauma creates a cycle. Narcissistic parents perpetuate similar patterns of behavior. Conscious awareness and intervention are key to breaking these patterns. This awareness can pave the way for healing and healthier relationships. Narcissistic abuse thrives in silence. The abuser often manipulates the narrative, making the victim question their own reality, sanity, and worth. Breaking free from narcissistic abuse requires breaking the silence. It demands acknowledging the abuse and reclaiming your voice. The first step is recognizing that you are not to blame. Narcissistic abuse is never the victim's fault. It stems from the abuser's own deep-seated insecurities and need for control. Understanding this is crucial for reclaiming your sense of self and recognizing that you deserve respect and healthy love. Breaking the silence can involve confiding in trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. Sharing your experience with someone who can offer support and validation can be incredibly empowering. It helps to break down the isolation that often accompanies narcissistic abuse. Seeking professional help is crucial in healing from narcissistic abuse. A therapist can provide a safe space to process your experience, develop coping mechanisms, and begin rebuilding your self-esteem. They can also help you identify patterns of abuse and develop strategies for setting boundaries in future relationships. Setting boundaries is essential for protecting your well-being in any relationship, but it is paramount in relationships affected by NPD. Boundaries are limits we set to protect our physical, emotional, and mental health. They communicate what we will and will not tolerate from others. Individuals with NPD often struggle with boundaries. They may view them as a challenge to their control or a rejection of their needs. This can lead to resistance, manipulation, or even escalation of abusive behavior. However, setting boundaries is not about controlling the narcissist. It's about taking control of your own well-being. Start by identifying your non-negotiables. What behaviors are you no longer willing to tolerate? Once you've established your boundaries, communicate them clearly and calmly to the narcissist. Avoid engaging in arguments or justifications. Stick to your boundaries firmly and consistently, even in the face of resistance. Remember that setting boundaries is an act of self-care, not selfishness. It is about protecting your own well-being and creating a healthier dynamic in the relationship. It is also about teaching others how to treat you with respect. In some cases, the healthiest and most empowering choice is to walk away from a relationship with a narcissist. This is particularly true when the relationship is causing significant emotional distress, jeopardizing your well-being, or showing no signs of positive change. No contact means ceasing all forms of communication with the narcissist. This includes phone calls, text messages, social media interactions, and face-to-face contact. It also means cutting off contact with anyone who enables the narcissist's behavior or tries to mediate the relationship. The decision to go no contact is deeply personal and often incredibly difficult. It may be met with resistance, guilt trips, or attempts to lure you back into the relationship. However, it is crucial to remember that you have a right to protect your own well-being. No contact is not about punishing the narcissist. It's about prioritizing your own healing and creating space for yourself to heal and move forward. It's about reclaiming your life and building healthier, more fulfilling relationships with people who respect and value you. Recovering from narcissistic abuse is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion to heal. Be kind to yourself and recognize that healing is not linear. Grieve the relationship and the idealized version of the narcissist. Allow yourself to feel the pain, anger, and sadness. Therapy can be instrumental in recovery. Engage in self-care and prioritize your well-being. Focus on activities that bring you joy and surround yourself with supportive people. As you heal from the wounds of narcissistic abuse, you can begin to rebuild your life and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This journey starts with embracing your own authenticity and recognizing your own worth. Learn to trust your intuition and set boundaries with new people you allow into your life. Pay attention to red flags and don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that don't feel good or bring you joy. Building healthy relationships requires vulnerability, communication, and a willingness to be your true self. Seek out relationships with people who are empathetic, supportive, and respectful of your boundaries. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your strengths and encourage your growth. Remember that you deserve to be in relationships where you feel loved, respected, and valued for who you are. Navigating the maze of narcissistic personality disorder can be a challenging and painful experience. However, there is hope. By understanding the dynamics of NPD, recognizing the signs of abuse, and prioritizing your own well-being, you can break free from its grasp and create a brighter future for yourself. Remember that you are not alone. There are resources available to support you on your journey, including therapists, support groups, and online communities. Reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Moving forward from narcissistic abuse is about reclaiming your life, your voice, and your power. It's about embracing your resilience, celebrating your strength, and stepping into the fullness of who you are meant to be. The journey may be long, but healing is possible. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Keep moving forward one step at a time.